NuKKle HeDD Sports. It's in the game.
I mean, it's just more question you have to ask me in order for me to tell you about myself. I just can't give you a whole spiel. I don't even know where you're sitting at.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat. You'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious. Release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blown me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon. Stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn. And I'm independent, so I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted. Can't copy, printed. Can't hold me down. I shape shift, I'm liquid. I killed this beat. I might get convicted. They know how I move. It was predicted. Persistent. Spoke it into existence. So consistent. No assistance. Hear me once become addicted. If I rap it, then I live it. There's no cap when I be speaking.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Yo, it is fucking Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's NuKKle HeDD Sports. We in the building. What's going on, everybody?
Would it be?
We chilling like a villain on penicillin with a Mac 11, just waiting for 7. You know how we do.
That's how we do.
So what's going on with you, Hulk? It's been a minute.
You know me. Same shit, different day.
I hear that. Damien over here said we late like Cody Rhodes' comeback.
Hey, Damien. You right. I can't even say no. I'm trying to get the chat up.
It doesn't show you in the.
Nah, it says where I'm at, but then I don't see nobody.
It might. Hold on, let me see something.
Ain't that bullshit?
Word.
Nah, it says studio chat.
Oh, did you see on the top where it says live stream chat?
Oh, that's where that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, people. Damien, we had some technical difficulties.
Word.
All right. You know, we old, man. Technology ain't no. I'm just joking. We had some difficulties here with this, with the stream and shit.
Word.
They're trying to make us not be great.
That's what they do. That's what they do. They all want us to be fucking horrible. How's
really? All right. We running off like that. Damien already got questions. Damien, I haven't seen anything about Stephon Diggs going to the Pack, but if I was if I was the GM, yeah, bro, I would bring in Diggs to help out Derek May. Why not? I feel the stream is going to be very heavily NFL themed.
Yeah, man. How do we sound? Like, how does the audio sound to y'all people? And by y'all people, I mean you, motherfucker.
Yo, let us know in the chat.
Word. Yeah, man. There's been a lot of movement going on now. You know, with the NFL.
Mean, baseball is in training.
Yeah.
You know,
the women's basketball 3-on-3. Yo, bro.
Yeah, okay, sure.
ever since that discussion we had last week about they want equal pay, I've been seeing on TikTok and YouTube all these highlight reels of Angel Reese just missing layups and missing fucking wide open shots.
All right, look, I'm gonna be truthful. All right, for some reason, yeah, I would tag, bag, and rag dag Angel Reese off the court in the bedroom.
Of course.
On the court, like my man Aaron Spears once said, she's trash.
Word.
Bro, her layups look like somebody who's just started out playing basketball. I'm sorry. If this gets back to Angel Reese, I'm telling you the truth, girl.
I mean, shit. Listen, you can get it. You just ain't got it.
Well, yeah, you can get it, every day, all day, twice on Sunday.
Word.
All right? In the bedroom. Like my man 112 once said with Little Zane, in the bedroom, on the top. But on the court, you need some work, girl. Sorry.
You got that 112.
That's right. Peaches and creams. Come on now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just dance with him.
Yes. Come on now.
See, Ray's too young for that. That's why he's not here.
Man.
He said he's going to be a little late.
I don't know. He got like about 13,000, 3,000 plus baby mamas and kids.
Yeah, I mean,
he don't know about the 90 R&Bs.
Nah, he doesn't.
Or the early 2000s.
He doesn't, and I know he doesn't because if he got that many baby mamas, he definitely doesn't. Because these women nowadays don't know about that shit.
Right, talking. They don't know about men singing or crying in the rain.
Word. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Shit. They don't know about boys becoming men.
That's right.
The journey from boys to men. You know what I'm saying?
Damien said we're coming loud and clear on his end. Pause. I don't know what that means, but
word.
Wait, why the hell is Vince? You're like Vince McMahon's at the Knicks game? Up.
He was at the Knicks game yesterday.
I guess so.
Shit. Yeah, because he was wearing the St. Patty's Day shit.
Yeah, him and Dolan are friends. Not surprised.
Yeah, and plus he gotta prove to the world that no matter what he does, no one's gonna blame him for anything because he's rich. If Hogan was as rich as Vince, no one would boo him. And that's just the problem. That's what it is. Hogan doesn't have Vince's money or Trump's money, and that's why they boo him and they don't boo Trump or Vince.
First of all, let's clear some shit up, America.
That's the only reason why.
Trump don't got no money.
He got the perception of money.
Right. His money is not liquidable, which means for him to liquidate all his assets will take a long ass time. So technically, that man don't got no money. But moving on, because I ain't gonna waste my time on fucking Agent Orange.
Word.
So Schefter is reporting that Diggs is in Foxborough for a meeting. Well, if I was New England brass, I would definitely try to get Stephon Diggs in the building. I tell you the truth, if I was the Jets, I would try to get that man in the building. I mean, they already lost off on Hopkins, but you got to have something else besides Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have Lazard no more.
I think it was only a 1 year deal. A lot of the shit that they gave Aaron Rodgers' boys were like 1 year deals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And truthfully, even if I was to just brass and I had Lazard, I would cut him in favor of Diggs. Yeah, Diggs is older, whatever. But Diggs can teach Garrett Wilson shit that Lazard ain't gonna fucking teach him. Motherfucker don't know shit.
Word.
He know how to drop. He know how to drop footballs.
Well, he knew how to get passes from Rodgers.
Yeah. Be on Rodgers' cock.
It was a lot of knee work. If you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So
if I had a young quarterback, yes, I would try. And I had a young team, because New England has a young team, I would definitely go after a guy like Stephon Diggs.
shit, and it looks like they're trying to get younger too. The Jets with the because we said this last week. They just got Justin Fields,
right? Which is who I wanted the Giants to get.
They got a bunch of people. They got some dude from the Jaguars that apparently he grew up wanting to be a Jet. I forgot his name. I was talking to him show about him.
No disrespect, but who the fuck grows up wanting to be a Jet?
I would have.
Stop it.
Aaron Rodgers wanted to be a Jet, but you know he can't get hurt.
Because he knew he could hook. He can Harvey Weinstein motherfuckers out of money. That's what it was.
I'm sorry, I said Aaron Rodgers. I meant Aaron Judge.
Hey,
he didn't have the lower body to be a football player.
Stop it. All right, listen, man.
So there was another.
Keenan Allen's a free agent. You know what, Damien? I could have sworn that Chicago, when they traded for Keenan Allen, they gave him an extension, but I guess not.
I heard there was another quarterback the Jets were gonna interview or some shit.
Yeah. You know what's his name?
What's his name?
Joe Montana.
Shit. That's quarterback in the league. Oh, speaking of quarterbacks and Joe Montana, the Eagles actually took Azizi Zugugagu, Uruguay.
He wasn't. He's not a quarterback. Yes, his name is Ozi Ojalari.
That's right. OZ likes a gelati.
That's as close as we gonna get. I'm. It was only a 1 year deal for $4 million or something like that, or $6 million. I don't. It hurts me again because I liked him as a Giant, but he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, but I mean,
now if he goes to the Eagles and he can stay healthy for the whole fucking year, Giants owners and brass, listen to me. Get the fuck out of New Jersey.
Change the grass.
All right? Because obviously there's something in fucking New Jersey.
The garbage.
Bro, I say this all the time. When the Giants training facilities or the practice facility was up in Albany, which is only 2 hours away, which is not that big of a fucking thing, the Giants didn't have that many injuries. The moment they moved the training facilities into New Jersey, the fucking Giants lead the league in games lost due to injuries.
Oh.
Again, Giants, get the fuck out of New Jersey for your training camp and your practices. Football games, whatever. But get the fuck out of Jersey.
Word. Bitch.
But the kid is special. He just couldn't stay healthy. And the Giants were trying to bring him back, but I guess they were trying to bring him back on on a deal similar to what he signed with the Eagles. But I get it. You want to sign with a team that's winning. I don't blame him. Yeah, I get it.
But do you think that
what a go, Joseph?
If he goes to the Eagles, right? Oh, since he's there, he goes to the Eagles and he's not injured. Just like how Saquon wasn't injured this year, he actually looked pretty good. He was playing majority of the games, and it's like, at what point does the Giants go, all right, we need to change something here, because it's not that we're fucking getting people that can't stay healthy. It's we literally have a facility that's causing these people to get injured.
Bro, again, all you gotta do is look at the stats. The stats don't lie, bro.
Yeah.
If you Google games like games lost in the last 10 years due to injuries and stuff like that, the Giants are number one.
Let's see.
Joseph, I don't want to watch Howie work. Fuck Howie. That's some of my bitch. Look, yeah, Howie had a good draft last year for the Eagles, but at the same time, the Giants just were stupid in letting fucking Barkley go. Everybody knew that shit. But at the same time, we all knew he's not going to win on the Giants, because the Giants still have Daniel I am a Burger Jones on the team.
Word. And he is a burger.
Yo, to the umpteenth power, bro. Damien, I heard that there might be like 8 new rule changes, but it's like, yeah, at some point, y'all need to stop. Just let these motherfucker plays. Like, I heard the Packers want to get rid of the tush push. And it's funny because there was one of the guys was talking about that in my office, and I'm like, yo, that's a play that's older than fucking football itself.
Yeah.
And he's like, what, the tush push? I'm like, yeah. So, my man, haven't you ever seen when the running backs get stood up, all of a sudden you see like 3 offensive linemen? You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden run up behind them and try to push the pile. I go, that's the same thing. It's just a different version of it.
Yeah, it's just the Eagles do that shit better than anybody. They them touching each other's asses and pushing them into end zones. They do better than anybody.
Well, Damien did it. It's correct. Mekhi Beckham, who was a former Jets offensive player, he left the Eagles. He was there. The Jets had him at left tackle, and he always kept getting hurt. The Eagles put him in guard. He played all 17 games. Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's you know who he is. He's 6'8", 300 something. He's a big man. So he was one of the guys that reason why the tush push was even more effective this year than it had been in a very long time. Word. So I actually did Google it. Yeah, the Giants are number 1.
See? Come on, I know my facts. Come on, America.
Shit.
I don't lie.
And
I just don't see the whole truth.
It just sounds better.
Joseph. Yeah, Joseph. It hurts saying Burger Jones because he's on your team. Why would the coach do that to Anthony Richardson? Bring in somebody that can actually mentor this kid. Not somebody that he's already better than.
Yeah, but You got to give him something. The Rodgers, the Mannings liked them. If the Mannings like him, then got to hire him somehow. It's not like he's a minority. I mean, he's white.
I'm a big Eli Manning fan, but I'm not gonna take player evaluations from other players. Sorry.
Okay. So, in your opinion, who's winning the NFL free agency right now? Because according to CBS Sports, according to their football professors, the Commanders are A+ right now for what they're doing in free agency.
Well, it's not only free agencies. What they've done with trades, they traded for Deebo Samuels. They traded for Larry Tunsil. Now, if people forgot who Larry is, I remember about 10 years ago, there was the guy that was projected to be number 1 overall, but somehow leaked footage of him with a weed mask got exposed.
Yeah.
And he ended up dropping to the Dolphins to at number 10. Well, that guy went from the Dolphins to the Texans and has made at least 5 Pro Bowls. So, very good left tackle. One of the better left tackles in the game. So, they went and they got a weapon for Daniels in Deebo Samuels. They got somebody younger to protect his blind side. You know what I'm saying? I believe they also signed a couple of offensive linemen. So yeah, they've signed some defensive players too, and traded for some defensive players, bro. They have surrounded Daniels with a fucking awesome team. And people forget the Eagles won last year because they won in the trenches. They've lost the Eagles have lost a couple of offensive linemen. They've lost a couple of the guys on their defensive line. They had a 1D tackle that left, and he was like the top-rated guy, some guy named Williams. He's no longer the Eagles. Graham, who was hurt most of the year, but is a very good defensive lineman, he retired. Some guy, I forgot his name, he's an edge rusher, Joe Sweat or something, whatever his name was, he left. So they let go of Darius Slate. Well, not Darius Slate. I'm sorry. What's his name? It's Slay. His name is, I know his last name is Slay. I forgot his first name, but he's a cornerback. So, the Eagles have taken some hits. Now, is it enough for the Commanders to take advantage? I think so. I think next year you have the Commanders win the East.
Okay. They're not going to choke like they did this year?
Well, look, they did beat Detroit in Detroit, which was impressive. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give them that.
Yeah, but then didn't they lose like 57 to -3 to the Eagles?
They got slapped by the Eagles.
The Eagles, like you like to call them.
The Eagles. But that's because they couldn't stop Barkley.
Yeah. And let's face it, Barkley was acting like he was on the Giants the whole year. That's the only reason why he was doing so good. He saw that green and made it blue.
I mean, for the first time in his career, he has somebody that can actually block in front of him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like those holes opened up like fucking.
Remember, for the first time in his career, he was getting past the line of scrimmage or getting to the line of scrimmage without getting hit in the backfield. As much as I love my Giants, my man was getting hit in the backfield all the time.
Pause.
What happened?
Said pause. He was getting hit in the back.
Pause. Well, I said backfield.
Shit.
I say back shots. Get the fuck fuck out of here.
Oh, what? Ray been touching my buttons. Pause. Wait a minute.
Nah, that's a pause.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, that. Hold on. Let me.
Hey, yo.
All right, good. Y'all should be able to hear that.
They signed Daniel Jones actually pretty early in free agency to give quote unquote Anthony Richardson competition. And I'm gonna tell you right now, what they should have done was bring in somebody to help Anthony Richardson focus, because the boy has some skills. He does, but he needs to be groomed. This is what happens when you draft a young quarterback and you throw him out on the field. Like, hey, go ahead. Trial by fire. We're just going to throw you in the frying pan. It works sometimes. A lot of the times, it don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Now, had they drafted Richardson and had him sit behind Joe Flacco for maybe half the year, had him learn how to watch game film, how to dissect game film, how to be a professional, I guarantee it would have been a different story. But because they drafted him in the first round, we got to get him out there. We got to get him out there. Sometimes that's a bad thing to do. See, like me, let's say somehow the Giants get lucky and are able to draft Cam Ward. I don't see it happening, but I wish it does. And they have
Just have him wear a fucking weed mask. You know?
I would like the Giants to sign Russell Wilson. Yes, you heard me right, Russell Wilson. Now, when Russell Wilson was here visiting the Giants, they said that the only reason he left without a contract is because he wanted to sign a 2-year deal, while the Giants were just offering a 1-year deal. Giants brass, that includes you, John Mara. Wake the fuck up. Sign Russell Wilson to a 2-year deal. All right. Whoever you draft as a rookie this year. Now, mind you, here's the thing. Here's the good thing. If you take Russell Wilson and sign him for 2 years, that doesn't mean you have to draft a quarterback this year. Like, I get it. The quarterback, the last 2 times the Giants have drafted quarterbacks or have been in the first round to draft a quarterback has been bad quarterback classes. The year Daniel Jones came out, that was a bad quarterback class. This year, it's also now another bad quarterback class. Next year is supposed to be a lot better quarterbacks coming out. Again, you sign Russell Wilson for 2 years. You let him start this year. You know what I'm saying? Damien, Russell Wilson is not overrated. All right? Aaron Rodgers is overrated.
Shit.
So you watch your mouth. All right? My whole thing is Russell Wilson is a positive fixture in the locker room. So let's say even if you go and you draft a quarterback this year, Russell Wilson knows that the situation the Giants are in, he's not going to get offended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he knows he's going to mentor the quarterback because he's a good guy. And Russell Wilson is not going to Cleveland because they have Deshaun Watson still there for this year and next year, fully guaranteed. Come on, Damian and Joseph. Come on. You guys should know this.
Word. And the only other quarterback that Hutch would want on the Giants is Kyle Murray.
Who?
Kyle Murray.
Don't make me have to cut you.
Shit. Nah, but I was waiting for the burger to come out. No, but I mean, why not? Russell Wilson is one. He's someone that's going to play hard, so you ain't got to worry about that.
He's won the same amount numbers of Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers.
True. He could run.
he's been in the same amount of Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers.
True. And he's younger than Aaron Rodgers.
He's about
45 years?
He's about 7 years younger than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's about 20, 30 years younger than Aaron Rodgers.
You know, his wife is from New York.
She's hot.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
She gives out goodie bags.
Yeah, I'd take her goodie bag.
No, but I mean, why not? That's a good one, and it builds a foundation because your offensive line is.
Here's my thing. The Giants have not had somebody who can read a defense since Eli Manning. All right, they haven't. They went to Daniel Jones, who couldn't fucking read a fucking book. I don't care if he had degrees from fucking Duke. All right, just because you went to a fucking legitimate Ivy League school don't mean you're smart.
Word.
All right, that's one. Two, let's say you sign Russell Wilson for 2 years, right? You get him this year, you get him next year. If the quarterback you don't like, if the guy you don't like to be quarterback doesn't fall to you at number 3, now you have Russell Wilson. So now you can either take the best player available, or you can trade back in the draft, get more picks this year and next year, and then next year, if there's a quarterback that you like, you probably now have 2 first-round draft picks that you can package to trade for the number 1 pick. And you can pick any quarterback you like. Goddamn, I should be a goddamn fucking GM.
You can't be a GM. You make too much sense. You might actually want to win, Hutch. That's not how football works. It's about putting the product on TV and making people tune in. It's not about winning. Winning is for fucking the Chiefs and Mary J. Blige and Taylor Swift.
Joseph, right now, Russell Wilson's 2 choices are literally the Giants and the Steelers. He's not even looking at any other team.
Now, if you're Russell Wilson, which team would you rather be on?
The Giants. And I don't say that because I'm a Giants fan. I know the Steelers, they traded for DK. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, this is going to be, DK was like 7th year in the league. So DK's getting up there in age. George Pickens is a good wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him that. But ain't none of them got anything on Malik Neighbors. Right? The Steelers also let go of Najee Harris. He's not on the team no more. And right now, the running back that the Giants have in Tracy Jr. is better than any running back that the Steelers have on their team. So the Giants right now have better, younger talent on offense than the Steelers do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So,
and they've done a lot of work on the offensive line, so it could be that the Giants' offensive line is even right now probably better than the Steelers. And they also did a shit work on the defensive side of the ball, where they like people don't realize how good the signings the Giants did. The cornerback that they signed from the Saints, only 25 years old. Right before he broke his femur, he was rated top 5 in cornerbacks in the league up until week 7. I think week 7 is when he broke his femur. Right, the guy that they signed to be their safety, they learned from last year from letting Xavier McKinley go. So the guy that they signed, this guy from Miami, was the top rated safety in free agency, and was like a top 5. Was like in the top 5 of the free agents. You know how every year they rank the free agents. He was like in the top 5. So the Giants reworked their secondary. They added to their linebackers, and they added to the defensive line. So they got Derek Lawrence coming back. They added to the defensive side of the ball. Like right now, truthfully, the Giants are pretty much, I would say, a quarterback and maybe an offensive lineman from away from being very competitive back in the NFC East.
Okay. So
Meanwhile, you look at the Steelers. The Steelers, yes, they haven't had a losing record since Tomlin's been there.
but is that good enough?
Besides that 1 year with Rapensburger, they haven't gone deep into the playoffs. They make the playoffs and they lose in the first week of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The defense is getting old. Micah Fitzpatrick is getting old. T.J. Watts is still a beast. But besides that, who else do they have on the defense? Then look how they have on offense. Yeah, they traded for DJ Metcalf. DJ Metcalf is about to what? If you look it up, what is he, like 28, 29? So he's about to hit that cusp for wide receivers. George Pickett is a basket case.
DK Metcalf?
Yeah.
27.
He's 27. Wow, then he must have been into the league when he was like 20 or 21. So, all right. So, yeah. So,
Well,
so like,
his birthday's in December, so it could just be that.
But that too. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So when he got into the league, he's probably like 20, and then got turned 21 his rookie year, something like that. I feel him. My birthday is late in November, so I was always one of the youngest kids in my class up until November, and I was like, I'm the same age now.
You motherfuckers need to pay attention to me. No, but
Right.
So the Steelers, even though they haven't had a losing record, them not going into the playoffs or losing in the first round all the time, is that, in your opinion, is that an excuse to keep the coach?
Well, put it like this. In the last couple of years, the Steelers really haven't done good in drafting or anything else, and Thomas he still keeps winning.
So we got to get rid of the GM, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think you got to get him better players.
So,
and apparently Damien did not listen to the words that were coming out of my mouth.
nope. The Steelers have
if you
a
look
good
at the
defense.
Steelers' offensive line last year, the Steelers' offensive line was just as suspect as the Giants' offensive line. All right, but the Giants have done a lot of work to fix that offensive line, and they've done a lot of work to fix that defense. All right, but at the end of the bottom line, the Steelers don't have anything close to Malik Neighbors or anything close to Tracy. They just don't.
Tracy McGrady?
All right. Who?
Tracy McGrady?
No. My running back, Tracy. Like that, DK Metcalf is a great wide receiver. I will take nothing away from him. But if you guys don't have an offensive line or a quarterback to get him the ball, he's not going to do anything. Like and Damien, I want you to listen to the words I say.
Listen closely now.
2 years ago when Geno Smith had that great year, right? DK Metcalf had a great year. Or was it 3 years ago? The last 2 seasons, as Geno Smith has been not bad, but he hasn't been as good as that 1 year. Just look at DK Metcalf's number. They've gone down. Now, Neighbors was a rookie that last year. He had 4 different quarterbacks on the Giants. And all 4 quarterbacks are all sub quarterbacks. And yes, I can say that. You all know how I feel about Daniel Berger Jones.
Yep.
Drew Lock, I'm sorry, he's a backup best. He's not a starter. Tommy Cole cuts DeVito. Again, great story. He's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Maybe down the line, maybe. And some guy named Tim Boyle. And the guy still caught over 100 passes. Had over 1,200 yards receiving. And I forgot how many touchdowns he had on the team where everybody knew that they were going to throw him the ball because the Giants didn't have anybody else. And he did that as a rookie with 4 subpar quarterbacks. So yeah, if I'm Russell Wilson, I want to come to the Giants more than I want to go to the Steelers. Sorry, it is the way it is.
Y'all see what happened with Tracy Morgan? Yeah, so apparently it was food poisoning because he started throwing up and bleeding from his nose at one of the basketball games. I think it was the Knick game or some shit like that. Tracy Morgan. But they said it was food poisoning. He seems to be getting better.
I didn't know what happened to Tracy Morgan, but I know where Tracy Morgan hangs out the majority of his weekends.
With Shorty Mamita from Venezuela.
No, he chills up here in the Heights.
Yeah. Is he the one that be driving that Lambo or that fucking concept BMW or some shit?
Yeah. Yeah, you know where Locksmith is at?
Yeah.
Across the street, if you go up the Mexican like restaurant that becomes a club in the corner.
Yeah.
Across the street from the block that's Locksmith, but it's actually directly across the street from the cigar shop.
Yeah.
That's where he chills at almost every weekend or every other weekend. That's his spot. You'll see him there the majority of the times.
There's some bad bitches in Dykeman.
Well, of course, it's Washington Heights, baby. You know, listen, like we say, shit. It's hard to say no to a 5'2" Latina out with an ass. Okay,
you feel me? She.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito has a sandwich shop. I know in I think Long Island, that's where he's at. I don't know if it's in Little Italy.
Of course, DeVito has a sandwich shop.
Well, I know he had a sandwich named after him. I think at Jersey Mike's or something like that.
That's not Danny DeVito?
No, it's Tommy DeVito. Danny DeVito is an actor, or a famous actor. Not to be confused.
Because, Danny DeVito be in the commercials for Jersey Mike's.
Is it Jersey Mike? Yeah, you're right. It is Jersey Mike.
Shit. Now, when Joe Pesci gets the sandwich, then let me know.
Hey, is that funny like a clown? Am I funny like a clown?
Hey, fuck you with the cell phones.
Yeah.
Off topic, are you guys tomorrow going to talk about Mox bumps on Spike?
Of course they are.
Well, I seen a little bit of the match. It was on while we was getting ready, but I saved the comic book heroes for Tuesday. Because this motherfucker is Superman. He can't lose.
I'm sorry. Moxley, I used to like Moxley in WWE. Now I just can't stand him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All his matches are the goddamn fucking same.
Yeah.
All his promos are the goddamn same.
Well, because when you leave a genius like that up to doing his own thing, he does the same shit every day. You ever notice that?
Bro, all his matches are like death matches. It's like, yo, bro, come on now.
He just had a fucking death match with 45 people involved against Cope. Which, if you don't know who Cope is, that's Edge.
Yeah. Your team
rated
is
R
fucking called...
superstar Cope.
Your fucking team is called the Death Riders or some shit like that. It's like, yo, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on, come on, Mox. Give me something else, bro. Please.
Fucking bullshit.
Dude, he's the same character every... There's something... I'm not a big Edge fan, but there's something Edge told X-Pac a very long time ago. You need character evolution.
Word, and it's funny how Edge said that because he ain't evolved since like 2012. He just comes out in different.
At that time, he went. At that time, he went from being that kid with the stupid grin to being, with the glasses, then to being in the Brood,
Yeah,
which is the best theme ever. That beat is ridiculous still to this day.
word.
To them being, funny with Edge and Christian. So at that time, his character was evolving and then evolving, and then he had the Rated R Superstar or whatever.
And he never changed after that.
We also got to understand the man is in his 50s now. Not everybody's gonna be a Jericho where they can change characters.
Well, no, you know what it was is that he started wrestling John Cena and he realized he didn't need to do nothing. He's like, oh, I don't need to wrestle. I can just sit here and throw punches and spear you every once in a while. Cool. I don't need to change my persona neither. That face just that's Edge.
By the way, when you do that, you look like Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon. Flash,
he saved every one of us.
The defender of the universe.
Yeah, but right now on AEW, our girl Megan Bayne is out wrestling Chris Statlander.
Megan Bayne.
Mm-hmm.
Such a hottie. And actually very nice, too.
Yeah. He just doesn't like to reply to emails or text messages or stripograms. And none of that.
So, tell me you didn't send a stripogram.
No, I went there and did it myself. Why pay someone when you can do it? I'm not lazy, Hutch.
And then you wonder why she hasn't returned your fucking emails.
This is true. Well, listen, I haven't got to the point where I did with Mercedes, where I have to keep making new emails. You send the email that says you are now blocked.
Well, I think when the last time we saw her, she was being signed to AEW, and we spoke to Jordan Grace when she was
TNA champion.
Right, the TNA champion, and we have a couple of people that work for AEW through Ray, and they all say the same thing. You have to go through their departments and do this.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Basically, unless you're gonna ask the same question as everyone else and you're boring, they can't be on your show.
Correct.
Yeah. And now let's talk about.
Hold on. I just noticed something. I'm not liking this.
What happened?
Mr. Loki went from being Mr. Loki to just Mr. What's up with that?
All right, so that's just in the chat. If you look at, it's Mr. Loki still.
I don't like that. I think it's full.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but listen, man, the AI on this shit helps out a lot.
Mr. Loki, we've all known Stephen A. Smith has been the clown for a very long time. The only nice thing I can say about Stephen A. Smith is that he's a Knicks fan.
Yeah. And he make money. I sometimes the shit that he says, it sounds cool. Like those people that come at you with some kind of like facts, but then you're like, wait a minute. If you think about it.
Some of his arguments are good. But then there's some arguments you'd be like, excuse my French to our crowd, but I'd be like, nah, nigga, nah.
Word.
Like rest in peace to the to Dwayne Haskins. Everybody knew that Dwayne Haskins was not a running quarterback. He was a pocket passer in Ohio. Stephen A. Smith called him a running quarterback. Like, come on, Stephen. Did you not look at the film? Like I said, sometimes some of his shit is right. There are a lot of times where shit is wrong.
Word. And I don't know about you. Let's get into this real quick, because this is a sports show, and we're going to talk about another sports show. I don't know why people think Max Kellerman was a detriment to that show. I actually watched more when Max Kellerman was on the show than Shannon Sharp is on the show, and that's not because I don't like Shannon Sharp. I love Shannon Sharp. It's just for some reason Max Kellerman seemed like he knew shit. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the minute somebody else come out with facts and history, and fucking Stephen A's like, nah, we can't do that. It's not good for the show.
I'm not the biggest Max Kellerman fan, but I know Max Kellerman through, like I know of him through a boxing guy who passed away, who a lot of old school guys might remember him, but the new guys are not gonna know him. His name was Burt Sugar. And if you looked up Burt Sugar, he was in boxing for like 60 years. All right. When I worked at JR Cigars on Fifth Avenue.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Right. He always used to come in and buy the St. Louis Reyes Toros. I got to speak to him. Great man, great mind. And I asked him one time, because I saw him and Burt Sugar talking on a boxing fight. And he goes, a lot of people think he's a young prick. I said, but he actually knows what he's talking about. So and I spoke to him about Max Kellerman. He goes, the kid actually does his research. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen him looking at his notes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Max Kellerman knows what he's talking about. And you're right, Joseph. Max Kellerman is not going to fucking be loud and scream like Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, the other thing I like about him, I know there's another guy out there that I get sick of. His name is Nick. What the fuck is his last name?
That lawyer dude?
He's not a lawyer. He's a sports commentator.
Is he on ESPN?
Yeah. Nick Wright?
Nick Fredro?
I know he's... Huh?
Not Fred, though. Fredo. He's a journalist for them.
No, I think his name is...
Nick okay. Wright. He almost looks like Jesus.
Yeah. Nick Offerman. I don't know. I don't think his name is Nick Offerman.
This one.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, yeah. I know he's... Yeah. I get yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That guy doesn't know what he's talking about half the time. All right? He's annoying.
It's crazy.
Max Kellerman is not annoying.
Yo, it's crazy. I thought he was younger. He's 40 years old.
Who, that guy?
Yeah.
Well, he's younger than me. I'm 46, motherfucker.
I mean, I thought he was like in his fucking late 20s, early 30s.
He looked old. He looked like in his 50s.
Yeah, but that's one of those things. Like, he's 28, but he looks 60 because of his fucking beard and his hair. He can't get right. That's why they call him Nick Wright. No, but I hear you. You think his hair is real?
Don't know. Don't care. But
I don't know, man. I wouldn't have cut it.
Truthfully, Max Kellerman is somebody that does his research. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he sounds intelligent too. Like, even when he's sitting there laughing, and people thinking that he's full of shit, or it's like, nah, I kind of get what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. It's just because he's not saying what you want him to say doesn't mean that what he's saying is wrong.
Right.
Shit, now, who I couldn't stand was a man from Undisputed. He started First Take with Stephen A.
You talking about your man Skip?
Yeah, Skip. Because
Skip, I'm a racist, Bayless.
Yeah, and I think like Skip was set in his ways. Like, he was one of those people that he can't see anything other than what he believes. You know?
That's a damn sure, yeah.
Like, I understand him with Tebow time and all that other shit. And I only said it when he was on the fucking Jets. Because we had Mark Sanchez at the time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was one of those things like, yeah, bro, I don't know if you know this, but you could be wrong. You know, like the statistics is like you can't be right all the time.
Right. See, but the thing that made the show between Skip and Shannon great until Skip fucked it up, right, was because Skip Bayless would say some shit, and then Uncle Shay Shay would put him in his place.
Yeah.
And like Skip would say some shit, and he'd be like, you ain't never been in the locker room. You can't say that shit. Plus, I didn't like Skip Bayless because he's a big Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh, he's a huge fucking Dallas Cowboy.
I would like, you know what? The only thing I would like to know about Skip Bayless right now is how does he feel about DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons going at it? For those who don't know, DeMarcus Lawrence was a long time Cowboy, right? He was a free agent this year. He signed a free agent deal with another team, and he said it was time to move on because he wants to win a Super Bowl, and the Cowboys are not about winning a Super Bowl. And Micah Parsons felt some kind of way about that, and truthfully, DeMarcus Lawrence is not wrong. Jerry Jones is not about winning Super Bowls right now. Jerry Jones is all about Jerry Jones right about
Yeah, he's feeding his ego. Which, I don't know about you, but if I was winning Super Bowls, I'd be feeding my ego.
Right. Oh, dude, he still hangs his hat on the fact that the Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls.
I mean, but they'll never be like the Jets. The Jets are undefeated in Super Bowl.
And then my thing to him is, dude, you guys haven't been to the Super Bowl in 30 plus years.
But he don't know that.
It's time to go.
You know when?
Yeah. See, Joseph knows what I'm talking about. He spoke the truth. He's like, they're not about to win the Super Bowl. I'm trying to win the Super Bowl. And Micah Parsons felt some kind of way.
And he goes, but he isn't winning the Super Bowl with the Seahawks either.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, you're right about that. And he signed with the Seahawks.
The Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. We got Justin Fields.
Bro, truthfully, I hope they win sometime in your lifetime.
So do I. Now that I'm old enough to remember.
Just that way you can feel the euphoria that I felt 4 times in my lifetime.
Shit. Man, I said 4 times.
Bro, yes, I am. Yes, people. Like I said, I am 46 years old. I am that old.
The Giants won a Super Bowl every decade you was born.
That's right. They won in 86. They won in 90. They won in 2007, and they won in 2011.
See, now they're on par. Pretty soon they're gonna win another one. They got to.
That's right.
Russell Wilson gonna be in there, and right after the Jets win, the Giants gonna be like, "It's our turn now." Fuck that field.
It's Brucey's time to shine.
That's right. You never had that popcorn.
Right. That's right. As long as you don't have that popcorn, you be all right.
Words. I hate the active players having podcasts. Like, it's cool if you have no one but to keep it in the off season, but don't do it during the season. Yeah. It's crazy.
You know what? You know what, Joseph, you're right. And I don't mean to cut you off, but Joseph is right, and so is DeMarcus Russell. He was like, once he said that the Cowboys ain't about winning the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? Micah Parsons got at him, and then Lawrence told him, well, maybe if you focus more on football and not focus more on your fucking TV show, we would have won a couple of more games.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. DeMarcus Lawrence signed with the Seahawks. That's because that's the person that gave him the most money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So look, I get it. But if you look at what the Seahawks have done, they have traded a lot of players. They've cut a lot of players. They have a lot of draft capital the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And let's not forget that in the West is hurt right about now. You know what I'm saying? The 49ers are not the same. The Rams don't look the same like they did when they won the Super Bowl. And, let's cut the crap. Arizona still Kyler Murray as their fucking quarterback. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and like I tell people, they named it Any Given Sunday because, yes, any given Sunday, any team can beat another team.
Unless you got fucking Zach Wilson or Daniel Jones on your fucking team behind the center.
Whoa. Zach Wilson had more wins than Aaron Rodgers.
He did.
Just saying.
He did, but I don't want to get back into Aaron Rodgers. I feel like I'm extremely gay. I feel like we slid into him.
Hey, yo.
He got hurt. We had to take it out. And then we got back in him. And now that we got rid of him, I don't want to go back in him no more.
Hey, yo.
You know what I'm saying? No, but yeah.
But we might if my stupid ass Giants motherfucker signed this motherfucker.
Holy shit. Which
I hope they don't, bro. Go with Russell Wilson, please. I'd rather you go with Jason Winston before you go with fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
At least with Jameis Winston, it's going to be fun.
Who would Matt Stafford been a better choice than Russell Wilson? Would you have wanted Matt Stafford over Russell Wilson or no?
No. Because, and this is what I believe this wholeheartedly. When you become the GM of a team, you want to draft your own quarterback. If they would have traded for Matt Stafford, like they didn't want to trade the number 3 pick, but Matt Stafford was going to require you to give him a long fucking extension.
So Russell Wilson would have been better off for the short term.
Right.
Okay. Makes sense.
If your plan is to draft a quarterback, whether it be this year or next year, you're not going to give somebody who I think Matt Stafford is right up there with Aaron Rodgers in terms of age. You're not going to give him a 4-year deal for $100 million like the Rams just did. The Rams just gave him another 4-year deal for $100 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's okay because they gave up a lot to get him from Detroit. But look, yeah, Devontae Adams signed with it. Devontae Adams hasn't been the same since he left Green Bay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just released Stafford's favorite receiver in Cooper. I'm sorry, in Coop. What the fuck was his name?
Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp. I think it was the Puka, whatever. He got hurt last year, so you're banking and you're hoping that he comes back. You know what I'm saying? Like you see the Rams, and you're like, I'm okay that we didn't get Stafford. My whole thing is, I'm trying to build for the future. I don't need to saddle my team with old geezers, unless it's me.
But you ain't even that old.
If the Giants want to come and hire me to be a scout or a GM, I'll gladly do it, and I'll be the best GM and the best scout you guys motherfuckers ever had. Trust me.
Word. And the Jessica hired me to go on all these podcasts and tell everybody, fuck you.
All right. And the reason I can say that shit is because I called Daniel Jones a burger right off of rip.
Shit, the same way I called fucking Aaron Rodgers a fucking burger.
Bro, every time the Giants have overreached for somebody and I said yay or nay, it's come.
They prove you right.
I'm like, come on now. I have an eye for talent. All kind football talent and some cake talent. And you know what kind of cake I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
devil
boy.
cake. That devil cake.
But if the Giants are a young team, you bring in somebody like Russell Wilson. All right. You draft a quarterback either this year or next year, and you'll be okay. Aaron Rodgers does not build teams. Aaron Rodgers destroys teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He ended up destroying the Packers, and the only reason the Packers survived is because they were smart enough to draft Julian Love 3 years before they needed him.
Yeah.
Now look, I'll tell people straight out. If I was to follow anybody how they draft quarterbacks, it would be Green Bay. They drafted or traded for Brett Favre. When Brett Favre was, I would say, 10 years with the Packers, they drafted Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years, people. When Brett Favre left and Aaron Rodgers became the quarterback, he played about 10 years before the Green Bay drafted Julian Love. Julian Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. Now, the first couple of games, Julian Love looked rough around the edges. Ever since then, he's looked good. So, if I'm going to follow the mode, I'm going to follow the Packers mode. We literally have drafted 3 franchise quarterbacks for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. In a league where teams literally, draft quarterbacks every year, every year, every 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that.
I'll
tell you what, if he was still playing, you know who would be a great quarterback to be a mentor to a young quarterback? Alex Smith. People forget Alex Smith was the guy that was starting for Kansas City when they drafted Mahomes. And Mahomes sat almost the entire year. The only game he played was the last game of the season. That's because Kansas City already had the number 1 seed locked up. And then the next year was when they gave the starting job to Mahomes.
Shit. They gotta stop fucking
Joseph,
around.
that's the truth. If you should have gotten Zach Wilson over Daniel Jones as on the Colts, bro. Joseph, you guys literally have 2 players, 2 quarterbacks right now that are very similar in what their problem is, and is that they run into sacks. Anthony Richardson runs into sacks. Daniel Jones runs into sacks. The big difference is Anthony Richardson has an amazing arm. Daniel Jones doesn't.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Zach Wilson has a rocket. And I said that since I first saw him. He has a rocket.
Yo, Joseph, the Packers have gone to the playoffs the first 2 years that he's been their starting quarterback. They lost the first week. They lost week 1 last year, and they made it into the conference finals this year, whatever. Or they won 1 game and lost the very next game. It's a process. Now remember, For as good as Aaron Rodgers was, he only won one Super Bowl.
Word.
So let's and I think he won it. Who did he win it against? He didn't even win it against a very good team either.
Let's see.
If memory serves me right, the Packers won that Super Bowl, but it wasn't because of him.
The Steelers.
Wow, they beat the Steelers?
Yeah. Super Bowl XLV.
Was
My-
Roethlisberger the quarterback still then?
I believe. Oh.
Look at that. I stand corrected. I guess they did beat a good team. Who's the Super Bowl? Who's the MVP of the Super Bowl?
Aaron Rodgers led the Green Bay Packers to a Super Bowl victory against the Steelers, winning 31-25, and was named the Super Bowl MVP for his performance.
Damn, I remember that Super Bowl different. I didn't think he looked that good. What was his numbers?
Let's media wiki. He completed 29 of 39 pass attempts for 304 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Oh wow!
But he's
Man,
a fucking.
I must remember him different. Oh, you know what? I'm remembering the Super Bowl he lost. That's what I'm remembering. That Super Bowl he lost, he looked bad. But it is what it is with Rodgers. I just don't want Rodgers on my team. I don't need another eccentric quarterback. I just left a toxic quarterback. I don't need another toxic quarterback.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers at this point is stat based. What was it? Stat padding.
Aaron Rodgers right now is that uncle that everybody tells you to stay away from in the family, when you go to a family barbecue.
Word.
Like, hey, don't leave your daughter around him, okay?
Like he calls that shit methamphetamine.
Yeah, yeah. Aaron Rodgers is that uncle now, that the creepy uncle in the family.
Word. Yo, I want to get your opinion on sports players with their own podcast. Now, my thing is, I seen Don LaGreca, right? I'm watching him rant because Show he gave me a video of him ranting, and he goes, "This is what I wanted you to be," and I put it in the group chat, and I said, "Yeah, motherfucker's too afraid for me to get to that level." But then I went down the rabbit hole, and an actual Giant defensive player, I forgot his fucking name. Well, they were booing the Giants. This is a couple years ago, and he's like, "Yeah, keep booing us." And he says, "What do I give a shit about the opinions of people who flip burgers and hot dogs?"
That was not a defensive player. That was actually Evan Neal.
Oh, there you go.
And that was 2 years ago.
See? And Don LaGreca went ape shit.
Right.
He's like, they pay your salary, and how dare you say this? Now, my opinion, if you think about it, the podcast is just another way of people fucking talk about sports. Now, if the players talk about it, it's cool to hear their stories and shit, but it kind of loses.
Like Joseph said, if you're doing it in the off season, I don't have a problem with it.
But what I'm saying, like if LeBron opened up a podcast off season on basketball, and they talk about basketball,
that'd be okay because they're talking about stories and stuff like that. But that's in the off season.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like our podcast, we're talking about opinions, and it's almost like the group of fans that are like, "Yo, this is bullshit," but when the players talk about it, I kind of feel like they're giving you a good story, but a lot of it is, let me tell you what I want you to hear.
Well, a lot of the stories, they really can't elaborate on a lot of shit. So a lot of the stories is sugar-coated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if they're still active. Now, you want to get Charles Barkley and people like that on the podcast now that they're retired? Shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like players who have nothing to lose. Like growing up, I was a big Sean Kemp fan.
Yeah.
Right? After during basketball, he admitted that my man was sniffing, coke. He was a cokehead. Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry in the 80s in the Mets clubhouse.
Yeah.
Like those kind. Like again, when you're away from the sport, like those kind of stories. Yeah, I want to hear those kind of stories. Like when you're retired, you're not going back. I mean, during the season, you do a podcast, you're opening yourself up to play for people, fans to go, yo, my man, we just lost by 25 fucking points, and you're on the podcast bullshit. Go get a fucking gym.
Yeah.
Mind you, I know that athletes nowadays put in a lot of work. I'm not saying that they don't. Please don't get it twisted. But if you do a podcast during the season, you are literally inviting criticism to come your way.
Well, true. I want to go back to that point of they put in a lot of work. I think they want to say that. I don't think they do.
No, they put in a lot of work.
I mean, compared to a normal person, like, so you put a lot of work to play in the sport, but I don't think you're putting in the level of work that you need to do to be like how anyone in the 90s did. Because the thing is this, there is no more either you win or we find someone who will. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the level of work that they're putting in is just enough to lose.
We'll put it like this. I don't know if you remember, but you remember a basketball player called Brent Berry?
Yeah.
You should, because he's a white boy. He won the slam dunk contest. Right? He's from the 90s. And he was like, yo, dude, even in the 90s, we weren't working out like these kids work out nowadays. He goes, if I was to work out like these kids are working out right now, I said, I'd kill them. Now, mind you, Brent Berry is one of the very few people that won the slam dunk contest and was also a very good 3-point shooter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he'll tell you the stories how the players in the 90s, after the game, they wouldn't go home to a fucking chef making them go, like LeBron has, that chef makes his meals, healthy meals and stuff like that. Dude, I know stories of fucking Oakley and Anthony Mason going to the strip club after Knicks games. And drunk.
See, now this is what I don't understand, Hutch. It's they can do that and still be a team that if they played today will wipe the floor with most fucking teams.
With most of the teams?
And
absolutely.
Like, yo, Dennis Rodman told the Bulls, I gotta go. I'll be back later. And went to Vegas to go fuck with people and spend money and be a part of the NWO in the middle of the fucking championship series. In the middle of the finals.
Carmen Electra. Go for Carmen Electra at that time.
And he came back and they won.
Right.
Now, if these people...
And he wasn't in the gym like most of these kids now. Imagine if he was in the gym.
That's what I'm saying. So I honestly think they're doing just enough to fail. Because you know what it is? Like, you're putting in all this work, but there's no competition. And that's the difference. It's like...
I don't think there's no competition. I think it's a friendly competition. There is no I hate you, you hate me.
Well,
you know
what I mean by no competition,
I'm gonna try to beat you every time I see you.
Yeah, what I mean by no competition is that you're not gonna lose your job because you missed a 3-pointer nowadays. Like back in the day, you could have been the best point guard on the team, and if there was a chance to get a fucking amazing small forward, you're gone. Now it's like well, this guy's been a part of the team since 2001, and, he's been riding the bench. Let's give him $20 million a year to stay on the bench. And then he comes in and he shoots a fucking three and throws it over the backboard, and they're like, good job, Billy. Good job. You took that three. We love you. Yeah. His jersey starts selling more than anybody else, and he fucking, he gets a bonus for that shit, and he's on, he's getting fucking interviewed, and they call him Bronny James. Like,
how did I know you was going to end up there?
You know what I'm saying? But like that's where we're going. That's where we're going. We're at a point.
We're going in an era right now where the most minute things are being celebrated.
Yeah, who's this fucking dude from was it the Timberwolves? They call him the next Jordan. He played great in the
Carl Anthony or whatever his name. Townsend. Well, I forgot his name.
Not Carl Anthony Towns.
Well, Carl was it?
Shit. Come on, somebody. Fucking kid. He's young. I think he was in like his third year.
Well, no, he's been there longer than you. I think Edwards or something like that.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards.
Edwards, yeah.
My man plays great for 5 games, and they call him Jordan.
Baby Jordan.
Baby Jordan. Now, here's my thing. What'd you do in the playoffs?
Nothing.
You can't be Baby Jordan. Because even when Jordan was getting swept, he was in the fucking playoffs against Bird and fucking Isaiah Thomas. And let's be honest. These fucking guys turn around and hit a 3, and they're Reggie Miller. They're better than Reggie Miller all of a sudden. How, Sway? That to me, you're not putting in enough work.
Yeah, because they're getting instant gratification.
Yeah, because if I dunk the ball, people will be shocked. But I swear to God, no one will be like, he's the greatest dunker alive. Just because I dunked the ball once. And you don't have to put in any work to get this fucking level.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, he's such a phenomenal player. If he was, so many people took teams that had no business being in the fucking playoffs to the finals. Allen Iverson took a team that had no business being on the fucking professional level to the finals. And he won a game against Kobe. Vince Carter fucking took teams that shouldn't have been into the fucking playoffs.
Here's the crazy thing about Allen Iverson's team. They scored the least of any team ever to make it to the finals. But they gave up the least amount of points of any team ever to make it to the finals. And you're right. They did beat Kobe and Shaq back when Shaq was still prime Shaq. They did beat him for 1 game. Now, I guarantee you guys cannot tell me who else was on that team without looking it up.
Nope. But you see, now this is what I don't understand. It's like back in the day, if you didn't win, you weren't good.
Correct.
Like the reason why people considered Charles Barkley one of the greatest players was because of Jordan.
There was competition.
It's kind of like
everybody wanted to be better than the next person next to him.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers we've ever seen in our lives, right?
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. But he's the reason why George Foreman is also considered one of the greatest. And Frazier. You know what I'm saying? Because they took it to him.
Right.
They beat him. They beat him. They lost, whatever. They took it to Muhammad Ali.
Right.
The reason why you would say Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, the 2 greatest players on the court, is because not only were they great players in the regular season, they won championships. They played each other tooth and nail. They took it to each other.
Correct.
Like, I get LeBron won championships, and I get he's a good player in the regular season. He's the prototypical player. But to be honest with you, one player should not be playing every position in basketball. That's why there's 5 players on the court. That's why we drive police cars. If Shaq was the fucking point guard, that means there's no center. He should not be playing point guard. Shooting from the middle of the court is cool, but if that's all you do, that don't make you a good shooter.
Don't please put in Steph Curry into this.
Don't be what?
Don't be putting Steph Curry into
No,
this.
but you know, I'm even talking about Damian Lillard and all these people. But look at when it comes down to playing quintessential basketball.
Steph started that trend, but and here's what I don't like: people forget how all those threes he makes, at the 3-point line. Like they want to talk about the shit from half courts and shit like that. But my man just broke the records for all-time threes, I believe, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't tell me that the man doesn't know how to shoot a three.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
He knows how to shoot, but does he know how to win?
He's won.
With a hell of a fucking team behind him.
Well, no, he won without he won when it was only him, Clay, and Damon.
And at that point, people were saying that Clay was a better shooter than Steph. But no,
right, because Steph was actually the facilitator. He was the point guard.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball to Clay, getting the ball to Damon.
Yeah, but now, back in those days, the best team in the league was the Spurs.
Right.
When Tim Duncan was on the court, the best team in the league was the Spurs. And they demolished LeBron.
Everybody.
Yeah, everyone. And then Kawhi didn't want to play with the Spurs, and he beat the fucking Warriors with the Raptors. He can't do it with LA because they must be cursed or some shit. But my thing is like, yo, you're getting flowers before there's a garden. Like, bro, you cannot.
You're getting the prize before you even fight for it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Like you can't be called the greatest fucking anything if you haven't done nothing.
I hear you, and I totally agree. Like when they were calling Anthony Edwards Baby Jordan, I'm like, why? Because he's had 5 games when he looks good.
Yeah,
I go, you got to do a couple of years before you can go. I remember when Kobe first came in the league, right? And everywhere's like, oh, he wants to be Jordan. He wants to be Jordan. He wants to be Jordan. And I remember Kobe saying, no, I don't want to be Jordan. I want to be the next Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. And Kobe was different than Jordan.
Now, did he use that as motivation? Absolutely. He goes, I don't want you guys to call me the next Jordan. I want you to call me Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. The world today, you also got to understand, we grew up in an era that if you wanted to see what happened in the basketball or in football, whatever, you had to tune into ESPN in the morning. Then now,
instant.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember my favorite thing was to wake up in the morning. I was getting ready to go to school. Was watch Sports Center's top 10 of plays of the night.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Now they don't even have that segment no more. But I can tell you what somebody did in fucking soccer.
Yeah,
All that, it's in the palm of your hands, people. It's instant. So people don't know what it is to work for stuff anymore because everybody's getting instant gratification. That's what happened when Anthony Edwards. He had a couple of good games. Oh, baby Jordan. You're my man. Not even Jordan was Jordan. After 5 games. Jordan was Jordan because Jordan took those beatings from the Pistons and from the other teams and then came back and was like, all right, went to the offseason, put on 10 to 20 pounds of muscle. Got beat some more. Then went to management and said, yeah, you guys got to help me here. Got Scotty and said, I got my fucking Robin and smoked everybody.
Yeah.
And by the way, fuck Jordan. You know how I feel
No,
about it.
yeah, but like the thing that pisses me off, people like, oh, these players nowadays would smoke the players back in the day.
Nah.
And the reason why I'm saying no is because everyone on the team put in the effort, like Anthony Edwards did. Nowadays, everybody would be called fucking Jordan. Sprewell would have been called Jordan by these standards. Like everyone, even the whack teams had somebody like, yo, this guy is good. He's just on a bad fucking team. Like, they're trying. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no fucking, oh, well, the Nuggets are going to win this year again because they won last year. Now the Celtics are going to win. Like, you ever notice how you drop off dramatically now?
Well, I don't know if you remember this guy. There was a player called Harold Miner. Now, you young Thundercats out there, you should Google him. Harold Miner came out of college, and everybody was calling him the next Michael Jordan. Now, mind you, he did have a couple of good years with Miami. Nowhere near Michael Jordan. Nowhere near Michael. He could dunk like Michael. Couldn't play like Michael. But that was quick. Like after a year, everybody was like, nah, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays it's like instant. You do a couple of things. Oh, if you're young, if you're a rookie in the league and you hit a couple of fucking half-court shots, all of a sudden they're calling you the next Curry. Why?
Yeah.
You only hit a couple of shots.
Yeah.
Again, it's everybody wants to have that instant gratification. Everybody wants that participation trophy. Nobody, and this is my argument that I had with Krills. Remember when me and Krills were having that discussion about, forget the 90s or whatever, and then the 2000 players will smoke the 90s. And I said, they don't have the heart to smoke the players of the 90s. My man Charles Barkley was throwing himself for fucking loose balls. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Rahman himself would throw himself for rebounds or fucking to make a steal or prevent a fucking takeaway.
And that was game 23 of the season.
Dude, do you see any of those kids doing that shit now?
No.
For the love of God, we got people passing the ball to the opposite team.
Yeah.
All right. And I want you to look up the interview they had with Brent Berry. He goes, back in the 90s, they would have been calling so many fucking fouls and travelings is ridiculous. He goes, I watched the game the other day. He goes, I count 52 moving blocking fouls that they didn't call. Or moving screens. I'm sorry. That's what he said. It was moving screens. He goes, I counted 52 moving screens. I go, almost everybody nowadays carries the ball. I go, that shit in the 90s, they would have called that shit in the 90s. I said, the problem is in the 90s, where you had consistent refereeing. Because you don't have that now.
Yeah.
It's like they told the players, we'll pick and choose what we want to call some shit.
And then they had that scandal where they were fucking fixing the games.
Right. But I want to get back to something that Joseph said about Micah Parsons and the podcast. Right? He's right. He said it opens it when the players have podcasts during the year or podcasts in general, it opens themselves to fuck themselves over. They asked him a question about who's the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. He named 10. Not one of them was Dak. You know what I'm saying? No, to other people on that team, that could mean, to them, that's like, yo, what are you talking about, man? Like, internally, we might all know that Dak should not be on that list, but he's your teammate. He's your starting quarterback. You put him on that list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, one thing, I didn't like Darius Slayton from the Giants, the wide receiver, because he was always defending Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't think he's any good. But I'll give him this. That man always defended his quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, he's right. Michael Parsons on the podcast, they ask you about the top 5 quarterbacks. You name 10, and you don't name your quarterback? That's opening yourself up to fucking have somebody have an issue with you in the locker room. Sorry, he's 100% correct. Players should not be having fucking podcasts during the season. 100%. Damien's right. Players today don't know what no pain, no game.
Shit, that's part of the reason why all these bodybuilders are so fucking delusional.
Chef Curry's been currying since diapers. That's
Yeah,
funny.
word.
That's really funny. But yeah, I mean, the basketball players nowadays, are they in better shape than the players back in the 90s? And like I told Krills, yes, I'll give you that. They're in better shape. Are they better players? No.
I don't know. You see the Shaq in his prime was fucking diesel. Fucking
Right,
a lot of these players were fucking muscular as shit.
But for every Shaq, you had a Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was a great player, but man did not have no shape.
I mean, look at Zion Wilson.
Yeah.
Look at Victor Awamawumwe. A 7 foot tall fucking toothpick.
Right. Well,
a lot of these people look like kids now.
Right. But at least he got skills. You remember a 7'7" player by the name of Sean Bradley who couldn't fucking play to save his life? Sean Bradley's claim to fame is that they picked him to be one of the basketball players in Space Jams because they needed somebody tall. Sean Bradley was a 7'6", 7'7" waste of space. He was on the Nets too.
They found him in the fucking depths of Germany. Shit, they just needed somebody tall. That's back in the day. If you were tall, you was an NBA player.
But like I said, look, the players nowadays, they have more access to live healthier. And that's not even up for discussion because, back in the days, back in the days in the 90s, you played the game, you went to the bar or the strip club, and you was drinking, and then the next day you had to fucking play a doubleheader.
The women back in the day were better quality. They gave these men energy and relaxed them. Now they're just giving adjectives.
Nowadays, the women back in them days were fucking natural. Nowadays, they got more plastic in them than fucking Barbie.
And all those fucking preservatives inside them motherfuckers drain the energy from you. Those enzymes and shit. It's no good. This shit, this shit, they fucked up the molecular structure of the women. Shit. And like, how bad you gonna feel afterwards when you just like, fuck, I had to spend $10,000 on this bitch to get a lobster so I could beat. Back in the day, they just threw it at you. It was like, yeah. Shit. You know how many fucking basketball players could have been professional catchers in the MLB? Because these women just threw it at them and they were like, whoop, caught it. Boom, golden glove. Ain't never miss a bitch. Shit.
Nah, listen, bro. I remember some of the stories, bro. Remember the stories from the players and dude, Sue's Rendezvous. There's a lot of strip clubs in in New York.
Mm-hmm.
That if you knew, you knew. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't those gentlemen clubs or whatever. No. These were strip clubs that if you knew, you knew. And that's where you would find Anthony Mason, and the
blowing off some steam.
Yeah, sure they were.
Well, they were getting some steam blown off them.
Nowadays the girls look like they're smuggling 2 basketballs.
Word.
And if you hit it too hard, something might pop.
And and they think that they deserve it because they paid for that shit. Or they had somebody else pay for that.
Man, give me. I love me a natural woman.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of natural women, real quick before we leave, I want to get into UFC.
Okay.
UFC 314, which is in April 12th. This is. I think that's the weekend before WrestleMania.
Okay.
They're having a featherweight title bout for the vacated featherweight championship with Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopez.
Okay.
So, Alexander Volkanovski is the former featherweight champion. He's been on.
Hold on. You said speaking of women, and then you talking about men? I thought you was going to talk about women.
Well, I mean, Dana White runs. Yeah, I thought that was pretty clear.
Not the bitch. That's something different.
No, but so Volkanovski's on a 2-fight losing streak, but he's Volkanovski, so he's getting a title shot. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, and he's still the number 1 contender.
How's that possible?
Thank you. I don't know. This is where I'm talking about with the rankings and shit. And then he's fighting number 3. He's fighting ranked number 3. Yeah. So Joseph, ask me about my wiener. So the reason why he's not fighting number 2 is because number 2 is Max Holloway, and he already beat Max Holloway 4 times.
Hold on. Number 3 already beat Max. Is that what you're telling me?
No, number 1 beat Max.
Okay.
And that's why he's fighting number 3. Because he beat number 2.
Then why is if he beat Max, how is Max number 2?
Because Max beat
the number 3 guy?
No, Max beat Chandler, which is in a different division. Oh, Gaethje. He beat Gaethje.
What does that matter? It's in a different division.
You asking for logic.
I'm sorry, America. I have a logical mind.
You can't sit here and have a ranking system and expect it to be logical. Oh, you're asking for too much. So it's 1 versus 3 because God forbid you change any of the fucking order. Because get this, Hutch. The co-main event is a lightweight bout between Michael Chandler, who's number 7, who wants a title shot, who possibly could be getting a title shot after he beats the number 12th ranked fighter, Paddy Pimblett. Pumblett. Which Paddy's, from what I see, is a pretty good fighter, but I guess this is his first real test. And get this, if Michael Chandler wins, if Michael Chandler wins this, he could be on track to getting the title shot. Why, you ask? Because he lost to Dustin Poirier, he lost to Oliveira again. But if he beats the number 12 ring, that means he technically beat number 1 and 2 together.
I hate you. and the reason I say I hate you was because I saw you going that way. And in my head I said, he's gonna say because 1 and 2 is together.
He beat them all at once.
I fucking knew. I knew he was gonna go there. But on some serious shit, man, that makes no sense.
It doesn't. And
makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Wow.
So Max Holloway is number 5 in the lightweight division. if we remember correctly, because I don't think people remember this, he knocked out Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's number 3. Max Holloway number 5.
Who's doing this? Who's doing this ranking system? A blind man?
Michael Chandler's number 7, and he knocked out Dan Hooker, who's number 6.
I'm gonna take my belt and go home. I don't have a belt, but if I had a belt, I would take my belt and go home. That makes no sense. None whatsoever. Hey, Dana White, if you hear this, if this gets back to you, I need you to do a couple of things. All right? 1, please remove your head from Donald Trump's ass.
Mm-hmm.
2, stop doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And 3, didn't you sell the UFC? You should have no involvement whatsoever. You need to get out of there.
Yep.
Oh my God, that makes. I'm sorry, you just fucking that right there pisses me off because there's no logic to it.
Yeah. And your boy, I think this is one of Damien's boys, Bryce Mitchell. You know what his claim to fame is, Hodge? He's the guy that said Hitler wasn't a bad guy. He's fighting some Gene Silva. He's not even ranked. But Bryce Mitchell's number 13 in the featherweight division.
Why?
Now, get this. Yair Rodriguez. He's number 5 in the featherweight division.
Right.
He lost to Volkanovski. So I guess that's why he's not getting the title shot. Right? But he's fighting the debuting Patricio Pitbull. Former two belt champion in Bellator.
You know that Neil deGrasse fucking meme? That's where I'm at right now. That UFC shit makes no sense. Dana, stop being a burger.
And the only man to ever beat John Jones is fighting in the prelims. Dominic Reyes. He's number 11 in the lightweight division. Jim Miller's still fucking fighting.
Wait, hold on. The guy that beat John Jones is ranked 7th?
So he didn't really beat John Jones. The refs, I was going to say the lawyers. The judges saved him. Dominic Reyes beat the shit out of John Jones in that fight. He never got a rematch. And he should have won by points, but the judges said it was unanimous for John Jones. John Jones got beat so bad that the judges were like, it is unanimous that he won. Because he's still alive, he automatically won. And he did that shit on 2 torn ACLs.
Wow.
Yeah. So I want to get, this is going to happen April 12th, like I said. So this time, we don't need to get any predictions now. I just wanted to put that out there to the world.
Wow, that makes no sense. You know, you're just fucking me up. Because I'm going to wake up at fucking 3 o'clock and go, hey, that makes no sense.
Yeah. And Lopez, the guy who's fighting for the featherweight title, is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight win streak. But who he beat? I don't know. Let's figure this one out together. The featherweight division. All right. Lopez is number 3. Let's go to the last time he won a match before he lost. All right. All right. The first match he won after he lost to Evolve, he beat Tucker. Now let's see what rank Tucker is in the. Tucker is not in the top 10. All right, cool, no problem. And then he beats Sabatini. He beats Mr. Robotnik. Again,
Okay.
not in the top 10. All right, no problem. And then he beats Yusuf. Again, I'm just making sure. All right, yeah, that's the featherweight division. Not in the top 10. Let me make sure that this isn't another fucking division that he's fighting. Nope, yep, he's not in the top 10. Then he fights Iggy, I-G-E. Danny Age, whatever the fuck. He's number 15th, ranked 15th out of the top 15.
Right.
All right, no problem. Then he beats Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega's number 6. So, of course, he's the number 1 contender.
I'm going to tap out for the night because that makes. I mean, I don't have much. I mean, I cut my hair low, but it makes me want to.
It's just letting you know, Hutch, the state of the UFC, the state of mixed martial arts that we're in.
Sounds like the state of the United States.
Yep. That's just that was the mind bottle of the day. If your mind is not in the bottle, remember our sponsor. Technical difficulty.
Dude, I want to smash my head against the fucking wall right now. That rating system makes absolutely no sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
It does.
Next week we'll be back. Tomorrow I have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. I think we're gonna talk more shit about John Cena. And we're gonna let these people talk about John Cena because I don't know what the fuck. Wrestling right now is at a state of emergency because they were only proving the Jey Uso haters right, and they're fucking up the game. And then Friday we'll be back with the Toe in the Show. If not Friday, then sometime this weekend. But that's it, everybody. Until next week, or until tomorrow if you join us.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. It's your friendly neighborhood knuckleheads signing out. Peace, everybody.
Y'all be safe.